Georges Pauget. Now, he used to be the chief executive officer of the third biggest bank here in France, that's Credit Agricole. At the moment, he's now the head of the advisory firm, Economie Finance and Strategie. Monsieur Pauget, thank you so much for coming along. That amount of the vote that went to Marine Le Pen, a surprise, but how do you account for such a big shift there?
I think the main explanation is that the French people understood perfectly that there is a major crisis, and they asked the politicians to have clear responses. And I think that Sarkozy and Hollande haven't said what they really want to say for the future. They give some more information about the budget, but in a very short view, and there is no clear view about the long term.
And it's that unemployment at a 14-year high, the fact that we've seen the public debt going up to a record 90% of GDP. Are these the issues that you think that the French want to see addressed, or is it competitivity? What are the issues that need to be addressed?
I think that the French people understood there is a major issue. But in fact, as in any country, they think that they have to change, but the change is for the neighbor, not for them. And I think that they have politicians have a clear responsibility at the moment to explain what they have to do and which kind of change we have to do, because obviously France can keep the same posture in the current situation.
So, let's look at the policies which are being pursued by Francois Hollande, because he does look, according to the polls, as if he's going to win the election in 2 weeks' time. He's advocating an increase in taxes, he's advocating an increase in spending, not much in terms of spending cuts. Is that the ingredient which is missing from his plan?
Yes, I think it's quite impossible to imagine that the current plan of Francois Hollande will be effective, because they will be obliged to cut the expenses. According to the official accounting code in France, the structural deficit is around 100 billion. This is a major issue, and they have to address this issue.
Tell me, as a former chief executive of a bank, Monsieur Hollande has some proposals about the bank splitting the retail with the investment banking activity, the wholesale banking activities, also some taxes. How concerned should investors be about his proposals with regard to the French banks?
There is in fact three issues. The first one is regarding tax, not only a tax on banks, but tax on savers. And this is a major change, because according to the Hollande's program, they expect 4.4 billion revenues coming from this tax on savers, and that means they will change the saving policy in France. The second fact is about the change they imagine to do regarding the saving accounts, saving passbook, because they want to double such a kind of saving, to use them to finance housing and to finance small and medium enterprise. And the third one is regarding the structure of the banks. That means something like the Vickers proposal, but in fact the Vickers proposal can be applied in France, because the structure of the French bank is completely different. You have, as you know, the universal model.
Monsieur Pauget, yes. Monsieur Pauget, thank you so much indeed. Those three changes obviously going to have a big impact on French banks. Should Monsieur Hollande win this election, for that we'll have to wait for 2 weeks to find out after the May 6th vote.